We all know the famous love stories of Romeo, Juliet and Laila Majnu. But have you heard any love stories of Guwahati? Let's recall one such love story on the banks of Dighalipukhuri. The historic Dighalipukhuri has stood witness to numerous love stories over the centuries, but none could have beaten the most famous British Major General Francis Jenkins and Futuki Memsaab. This love story of an Assamese Memsaab with a Britisher never fails to fascinate its listeners. Sometime around the late 1820s, a young Mir Syed Shekhawat Hussain, hailing from the royal family of Awadh in Agra, migrated to Guwahati as an administrative officer under the British Crown, along with his wife, his parents, his younger sister Fatima Begum, and some close family members. They settled on the west banks of the Dighalipukhuri around today's Handek Girls College. The family from the northern India gradually settled into the local milieu of this land. The Shekhawat family adopted to the culture and tradition of the land and mingled with the locals, even appointing many locals as household help. The practices of the land stepped into the household so much so that Fatima Begum, the sister of Mir Shekhawat, acquired the loving nickname Moni Futuki, which means the one who emerges from the bursting pearls in Assamese. While Mir Shekhawat Hussain was in charge of the administration of Guwahati, Colonel Francis Jenkins was appointed as the first Chief Commissioner of Assam province in 1828, who came to India in 1810 at the age of 17 years. The two had to work in close coordination and forged a close bond as the new city of Guwahati was being built. As the saying goes, it was love at first sight for Colonel Jenkins and Fatima Begum, who was smitten by her beauty. Despite the close relationship between her brother and her lover, the relationship of Fatima B and the Britisher was not readily accepted by the family. Religious and ideological differences posing as the barriers. Eventually, after several pleas by Jenkins and his promise that Fatima B will be able to maintain her cultural and religious identity even after her marriage, the family agreed. The couple got happily married in the late 1830s. After her marriage, Fatima Begum became to be popularly known as Futuki Mem. Major General Francis Jenkins died of fever on 28th of August 1866 and was buried at the oldest European cemetery about half a kilometer away from his wife Futuki Mem's graveyard alongside Dighalipukhuri. Sadly, the European cemetery was demolished and is currently the site of the Assam branch of the Institute of Engineers. The grave of Francis Jenkins has been lost now. Again, in the mid-1990s, Jenkins' descendants visited Guwahati, hoping to pay their respects at the grave of their great-grandmother, Futuki Memsaab, but sadly, they couldn't locate the grave among the overgrowth of the abandoned graveyard that now remains in shambles. Their graves might be lost, but their love story will remain immortal. Let us know if you have heard any such love stories.